Because none of this really matters.
Really matters.
Yo, Menda.
Because none of this
Really matters.
Oh yeah. What is going on? Turn them off.
That wasn't my phone.
Where? But your phone's near the mic. It's giving that feedback.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold this. That's right. I remember that. What episode were we doing? With my dad.
Yeah. Like, let's be professional. We're professionals, guys.
Yeah. What's up, Menda?
What's up?
You want to talk about yesterday, briefly, for the people? All right. None of this really matters.
No, it just dawned on me. I was like, oh, yeah.
None of this really matters. Take 2. Episode 64, the official episode, because there was a failed test run last night.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that.
That's it.
And then we're this week we can talk about the agenda we were originally going to talk about. I'm just trying to release all of last night's energy. But yeah, this Elvis is coming out. This episode comes out Thursday the 23rd.
Yeah, my birthday.
Oh fuck, it does. Everybody. Go, if you're listening to this on the 23rd, go DM Menda. Watch, you'll get like 1.
Right. Angela will be like, happy birthday.
Yeah, it's Menda's birthday if you're watching this on the 23rd of any year, June 23rd. Yeah. And Elvis comes out the day after. And how do you feel about it?
I'm still like in the I don't know.
I think all the 3 of us are like,
I don't have any opinion as of now until I see it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not
it's just going to be one of those.
Yeah, I'm not excited. I'm just like, it's a big movie.
Yeah.
It'll be good to go in blind to a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No expectations, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm here for work, essentially.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple, even the couple trailers that we have seen, it's still been like, still don't know.
He
Yeah.
doesn't even look like Elvis.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Elvis, but I think he's gonna do good as like maybe perform. I think he's not. I hope he doesn't go into the thank you very much. Like I hope he doesn't go into like the caricature of Elvis. I hope
Everybody,
Yeah.
I hope he goes into like a good performance.
You know
that's what I'm hoping. That's why I want
one-
to see it. I'm hoping for a good performance.
Is he homeless? The Elvis dude that's around here.
Yeah, I don't think he's homeless. I've heard people talk about this. I don't think
Yeah.
he is.
So if you're in Phoenix and you've seen the Elvis guy, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think
He
I've
has the
heard
full suit.
I've heard people say he's not.
He's not homeless, but I see him like
he's just out on the
walking
street
everywhere.
Yeah.
He has the glasses, the hair, everything.
I've only known one Elvis guy. He passed away.
Damn.
That was Howard. Howard used to dress up as Elvis and go and dance with a metal band.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Howard.
He passed away.
Damn.
But
You probably would have loved this movie.
Didn't Aunt Brandy love Elvis?
She loved
Yeah.
Brandy. Or she loved Elvis.
Loved Elvis. She
I
had
figured
an
that would be a good
entire
reason.
Christmas tree. If I have any attachment to Elvis, it's through her.
It's through her.
That's why I thought y'all were gonna go.
For
I
sure.
even-
And Dad.
Yeah, I even got when I went to basic training, I got Elvis stationery to like write to her while I was there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because I know Dad's going to be watching this. And he's going to be watching. Dad, we know that you liked Elvis first before Randy. Because he says that all the time. I need to say that for him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it for him. Because I know he watches. He's starting to become an audience member. He's starting to watch
Faithfully.
it. Yeah. He's like, oh, ever since he's been on, he was like, I'll check it out. God
Nice.
damn it. I'm just kidding. I
I was
don't
like,
care.
I don't know whose phone that was.
I really don't give a fuck. But
After he's like, guys,
Yeah, I know. My phone's never on. That was odd.
That is very true.
damn, that's so good.
Dude,
The
drop-
code red. Say,
I'm telling you.
you want to
dog.
pitch it?
No, absolutely
No.
not.
The dewdrop.
No, that's it. We're gonna leave it at that. The dewdrop. Y'all just need to know that.
Just remember.
Just remember.
Just
the
remember that.
dewdrop. If my sister likes it, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
She don't like nothing out of it.
I just realized, because I got a haircut. I was like, I realized I'm not wearing a hat. Oh, you should see the video from last night that I just showed Rob. I'm like, just like not. All right. My body language is terrible.
It was weird energy last night
Yeah.
amongst the household.
Yeah. But
So yeah, like I said, I am whatever about it.
yeah,
I'll make an opinion after.
I haven't even bought tickets yet because usually when the tickets go on sale and then I know we're gonna do an episode about it and we're gonna see it.
Right,
I
but-
usually get the tickets in pre-sale. I already bought tickets to Note in IMAX.
Yeah,
I already bought them and that comes out a month from now.
a month from now, right?
And I didn't even buy Elvis tickets yet.
It's also because you're like, oh, there'll be seats.
Yeah,
There'll be seats open somewhere
yeah. And
sometime.
but Thor is a whole nother discussion.
Mhm.
That thing, it's
Oh
hard.
yeah, you need pre-sale.
It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same crowd from Top Gun
And
or
yeah,
Elvis.
yes,
'Cause remember how
probably.
excited those people were in that movie theater?
Or like hipster chicks.
Oh, for sure.
Also, shout out Tom Cruise,
Lit. And shout out to
And Miles Teller.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady,
Why?
GOAT,
Yeah.
and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, shout out. He won the Super Bowl.
He
at
won the
age of
Super Bowl.
43.
Retired, came back, and is probably gonna win another Super Bowl.
Wait, just you guys are just randomly shouting out Tom Brady? Is that it?
Yes.
This is not even football season.
I know, we were just.
That happened like 2 years
We've been
ago.
watching a lot of fucking Hey Babe. And that's what they do. Every episode, they find a way to interject Tom Brady.
Oh
Like,
my
shout
God.
out Tom Brady, amazing guy, amazing
Right.
guy.
Well, aren't they New Yorkers?
Yeah.
And they like Tom Brady?
But I think for some reason, it's just something they started doing, just a bit that they do.
I
But
know,
I had to
right?
commit to it once I did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had to reciprocate.
Oh, because I was
We'd be
like,
remiss if we couldn't.
And your reaction was exactly what the perfect
Yeah.
reaction. They're like, what? What's happening?
Right. Because it's like, that was a year ago. And you're
yeah,
still
that was
talking
like
about-
not even the most recent Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Perfect.
But I was just talking about football we couldn't even talk last night. We couldn't even talk football.
That would have got somewhere.
Yeah. Anyways, all the I'm so many thoughts are going through my head. But
Elvis.
Elvis. We're going to release it one day. That footage, the 8 minutes of footage that we have.
All right.
Patreon.
Oh, wait.
Do we have it or did we already delete it? If we already deleted
I
it,
might be able to get it back. But
We're
I
good.
definitely
No,
I
if you
definitely
delete-
was like, click.
yeah, then that's a sign.
The audio's on here, though. Still on the
Yeah,
video.
we have camera
Yeah.
in camera mics. But anyways, sorry. It's just that's so distracting. The fact that happened. Sorry. Tom
Elvis.
Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yes. Shout out him.
Shout out Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
All right.
That's just it. Shout out Tom
Yeah,
Cruise.
Miles Teller. Shout out Miles Teller. I'll
Rooster.
throw in because my beard is coming back, and I think I'm gonna retire the mustache only look. So I had to do it one time for the one time,
That's
but
most adult men.
Yeah. You're like, I just have to do it one time.
Unless it's a regulation from your job, you should not only have a mustache.
yeah, and my mustache isn't cool enough.
Or a beard, no mustache.
Oh,
That Amish,
boy.
like LeBron James,
That's methy right there. You look like you on meth.
beard no
You
mustache.
burned your mustache off from the pipe when it hit you.
That's that Amish beard,
Yeah,
Off-putting.
the Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I call it the LeBron James beard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
It's just
It's terrible.
and it's I don't know.
You know what it reminds
I don't like that look. I don't
It
like that
reminds
look
me of-
worse than just mustache.
It reminds me of Parks and Rec. Where Ron, he had his mustache missing in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like,
Was it like the reverse Hitler?
yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, it's because of the friction.
You're like, ugh.
But
I
what?
had no mustache. Remember, I had I had this only, and
But-
then no mustache.
It's because you were so excited to have a beard.
I was so anti-military. I
And
was
you were like, I'm taking it off.
I'm taking off my mustache and I'm only having
Yeah.
this. I look
'Cause
stupid.
fuck
I can't wait for this to come back. It's 'cause-
Tatiana's like, yeah. Me too.
I won't even lie. That was a rough 2 weeks.
You just rubbing his face. Right.
You're like, oh,
Like, this
so-
isn't right, especially when it was
So
like prickly.
Yeah, when it was growing back, that was bad.
But yeah, what did you watch in prep for our like biopics? Because that's what we're doing this episode is the best or our favorite, I should say, biopics of like musicians.
Yes.
And specifically.
So.
Because there hasn't been one in a while. It feels like
No. So I recently.
it's been a year.
I was watching The Dirt.
Yes,
Dirt.
I didn't watch that. The Dirt, yeah.
About Motley Crue, and great movie. Like. Just
I remember
everything
because
about
we
it.
did watch it when it came out.
Yeah, because there's like commentary from like their perspective, like this is what was going on, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like corny, like.
And it's wild.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh
wild
my God.
Because Motley Crue was wild. Home sweet home.
Yeah, so I tried to watch.
Hot Tub Time
You
Machine.
know that John Cena plays that on Peacemaker? He plays it on the piano. He
Dun,
plays-
dun, 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 dun. I used to know how to play that.
I was like, John Cena? What the fuck?
There's so many signs in the world for the past like week that have been telling me to break out the piano again and just start playing again.
You can.
Because I haven't in a while.
There is a spider.
Deep in my soul. Soul. But yeah, The Dirt.
The Dirt, great movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't even realize that Machine Gun Kelly is.
That's all I knew about it before I watched it.
I know, but I remember, but I forgot when I started watching it again.
You were like, oh shit.
I was like, oh yeah, he is in this movie.
Yeah.
And it threw me off because he doesn't have any tattoos in there.
He doesn't?
Because I don't think
Whoever he
name?
played. Tommy Lee.
yes, I don't think he has any tattoos. Maybe not at that time.
Sebastian Stan played Tommy Lee. In that Pam and Tommy.
Yeah.
And Hulu. But that's not about music, like the musician.
No, that
career.
was like the whole like sex tape
the
thing
internet
and-
blowing up. The internet
Yeah.
becoming a thing.
Yeah. But he did pretty good.
Is that in your top 5?
Oh yeah, I would have to be in my top 5 because it was just a really good movie. I enjoyed it, even though shit is wild.
Yeah.
Because I started watching it in the kitchen when I was doing dishes.
Did you hear that in my throat?
Yep.
It was like.
That's a reflex. It came straight through the mic.
You leave it in.
Right.
Of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. I don't even know where that was at.
And Max came in and was like, I want to help you, Mommy. Can I help you wash the dishes? Can I help you? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. You know. And then all of a sudden, like, Ozzy came in when they're at one of the hotels and he's peeing on the floor. And then he gets down, he, like, licks it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like, here you go, Max. Like, let's, like, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it cuts to them, like, doing a music video. And then it's just boobs and them just, like, and you know what I mean? Like, they were in it. And I was like, and mind you, they're still playing, like, on the stage and all this
Yeah.
back and forth. And I was like, oh, okay, that's enough of that. And then Max, the whole entire time, I put Selena on after that.
Okay.
So, then he was like, no, Mommy, go back to your movie. Go back to your movie. I was like, no, we'll just watch it later. It's fine. It's okay. Just help me finish the dishes. Want a snack? Like, you want a juice? Like, just go ahead. Like, oh, God.
And what else did you watch? Or no. Before we talk about the movies you watched, what do you think about like biopics? Like as far or not like musician biopics? Like, do you think those are like a good concept to do? Like as far as like
I
musician?
think it's good. Like, for example, with The Dirt, like that was based off Nikki Sixx's book that he wrote about. So things like that I can see coming, like, you know, being able to, for him to have like a say in like what happens and what's being said and how it's produced, like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But I mean, sometimes you can't do that because they're already gone.
Yeah.
But
Like there was the Jimmy. Oh, by the way, the Elvis, the Kurt Russell, John Carpenter Elvis, couldn't find it.
really, dang,
I
maybe
wanted
it's
it.
gone.
I'll have to.
archived somewhere.
Yeah, like an old DVD of it
Yeah.
somewhere. I'll have to find it and watch it before I see the Elvis movie. But
No.
but
Maybe
yeah, I just want to
eBay,
put that out
something.
there.
But yeah, I think it can. I think they can tastefully be.
But it's like
Done.
rarely done
Yeah.
well, because that's what I was gonna bring up as far as like having a say in how it's all made. There was the Andre 3000 played Jimi Hendrix, and it wasn't good. It was very good, but the only reason why it's not like popular is because the Jimi Hendrix like owners the estate didn't allow any of the music his music to be played, but there was like Rolling Stones being played in certain scenes or whatever, and made up songs in the movie, but the only reason it wasn't good was because there was no like
Actual
Jimi Hendrix music, which like, but it was like a great performance, great everything, but it just sucks that like that had so much potential.
Yeah, because in majority, you would think that they would have their music either sang by another person or like with respect. And what's her name?
Selena?
No. Anyways.
Aretha Franklin?
Aretha Franklin. Some of her songs were played in there, like her voice.
Yeah.
But Jennifer Hudson is the one that plays her character, and she sang
like
the songs.
The actual songs.
Yeah, like in the movie, because of course she can
She's
sing.
Jennifer Hudson.
So when she's singing, it makes it better, you know. But you still know, like Aretha's like when she's played in the background or she's played on different things. You can tell that it's her voice.
Yeah, I do respect it when there's the actors actually
Yeah.
Do vocal training and singing classes.
So I thought that was really nice. I thought that was like, because I did watch that also. Perfect. Made me cry. Great movie.
Yeah, we started it and we kind of turned it off in the beginning because of the whole when she's in the room.
Oh yeah.
That's what my sister was just talking about.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't know what my mother's watching right now. She's like, this is crazy. She's like, this is sad as shit.
Yeah. I mean, granted, nothing is, you know what's happening, but nothing is seen, nothing is shown, none of that is, you just see the little girl and, you know.
The
implication of what's happening.
And it just made me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, that's the truth, that's her life,
Right.
that's what happened,
But,
I respect it, but it's like, sometimes you can't take that.
Yeah.
That you're not in the right
because
anticipation.
You realize that throughout her whole life that has followed her.
Yeah.
Of course, because she had 2 children.
Yeah.
When she was 10 and like 12, 14.
Crazy.
So, you know what I mean? So that followed
R.I.P.
her. Yeah, that followed her through her life. And, you know, made her who she was, but shit's crazy still.
And I think
it's heavy to watch.
I was talking to Tatiana about how a lot of these biopics, for musicians especially, they make them like a couple years after they pass, like 2 years, 3 years after they passed away, 4 years at the most I've seen. Like Aretha Franklin passed away in like 2018.
Yeah.
And they made Respect in 2021, 3 years later. Selena died in 1995, and they made Selena in 1997. And then there's just like, they have no like, it's like, is that too soon? Like,
Is it too soon?
it's like capitalizing.
Right.
It's like a little fucked up when I see like their release date, and then the year they passed away, and I'm like,
but they know that those famous people, like, they're like, this is, I think, especially somebody probably like Aretha Franklin, like, oh, when I die, make sure y'all make this movie, because if I'm taking care of my children when I die, this movie's gonna make.
Yeah, give all the.
And
money
I'm
to
sure
children.
Jennifer Hudson met her previously.
Yeah.
You know, and was like, if. Anyway,
Yeah.
Like that was already it might have already been in the works and we don't even know.
Yeah, but
you know?
rarely there's rarely anybody who's still alive when they make those.
Yeah.
I think Ray might have still been alive right before the movie came out.
Yeah, because
Look that up.
He met Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Look up, because Ray came out in 2004. What year did Ray Charles pass away?
Probably like, I
He's
don't know,
looking it up.
2002.
Because I just realized like they kind of don't give it some time. You know,
2004.
isn't that crazy?
I think he may have passed because he was like, my story's gonna be told well, and then he just kind of like
because
there is a cut. Like he told Jamie Foxx, he was like, "We're gonna play this together." He made him sit down and was like on his ass, was like, "Nah, you're not playing that right," and was like smacking his hand and.
But I just think give it some time. That's my opinion. Obviously, these movies are going to be made, but that's just
like Walk the Line.
That's just, same thing. Walk the Line came out in 06 or 07, and Johnny Cash passed away in 03. And it's like, what are we doing here? But
I think it's one
Walk
of those
the Line,
things. Great movie. It's one of those things like there's someone connected to them. That's like their story needs to be told.
Yeah,
like,
there's like people try to get
out.
an autobiography out of them. People try to capitalize off of their legacy.
Also, like, it's one of those things where if you're building a story off of all the people that's around them, you want to make sure that you're getting stuff that's recent or that they remember to the fullest truth of what actually happened. Yeah, because after 40 years. Maybe those people are gone or they don't remember anything. Then I just thought of this question right now. I should have thought of an answer before. But what musician alive or like maybe they're alive now, but like maybe in the future would you like to see a biopic of? Or maybe an artist that has already passed away, would you like to see a biopic of? Like as a movie? I would like to see Madonna.
Yes.
I think Madonna would be a great, like, decades worth of what's happening, what's going on behind the scenes, and, being an icon at such an early age.
Madonna's that, because it's not, I get it.
And how, going through the transition with the majority of people her age, Yeah. How do you live your life, and how do your kids live their life? You know what I mean? Like, how does that? Yeah. I would love to see
Madonna would be a pretty good one because there's a lot like
I just reminded me because I watched that new Rebel Wilson
the Netflix movie.
Yeah, the Netflix movie. And she gets in a coma, wakes up like 20 years later or whatever. Yeah. And she's like 17 again. Yeah. So she works, she looks at a magazine with Lady Gaga on it. She's like, is that Madonna? Madonna's still alive?
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as, like, in the future, Lady Gaga would be a cool one.
Yeah.
Just as far as, like, her, like...
Especially with acting and all of that stuff.
Yeah, her whole thing. David Bowie would be a cool one. I would like to see Harry Styles play David Bowie. Because clearly... Harry Styles is trying to be David Bowie.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really listen to Harry Styles.
We listened to his new album... And it's really good. I love his music, but like, you can sense. I think we both said it at the same time. Me and Tatiana were in the car and we were like, "There's some David Bowie in here."
Every time I hear or think of Harry Styles, I think of
One Direction.
No.
Rudy.
Yes. I was trying to get the burp at the same time. Bad Friends.
Rudy. Oh.
From Bad Friends.
I was like, the movie?
No.
Y'all gotta get y'all.
I know. I immediately looked at Robin and was like, it's Rudy. The whiskey.
But yeah, Harry Styles as David Bowie would be honestly a realistic thing that would happen. I feel like.
Yeah, I could probably see that happening.
Me and Tatiana have also said we would like to see, because we were talking about biopics and like which ones we want to watch and stuff. And Nina Simone would be one we would really like to see getting made.
There is already a movie made about her, like a movie biopic with Zoe Saldana.
But it wasn't good. That's right.
Apparently, it was not received well.
No. Oh, really? Because I don't know.
So I think they need to.
Yeah, because I never even heard of it.
I was like, wow.
What color is Nina Simone? That'd be the first question.
Not Zoe Saldana.
I was about to say, I was like, people do not like when they do that. If you're like a darker skinned like actress,
like Jennifer Hudson, Aretha Franklin.
Perfect.
Yeah. What?
Dorothy Dandridge and
Dorothy
Dandridge and Halle Berry.
Perfect. I just watched that movie
also. Wow.
Yeah,
It's not. It's way just left field.
All I did was Google.
Dark skinned.
All I did was look up Google Nina Simone.
Nina Simone, and then imagine Zoe Saldana.
No features.
Let me see.
They don't look anything.
No color
at all.
Yeah,
resemblance.
So
when
complexion.
that right off the bat, bad.
I need.
No,
I would
never
love.
seen Zoe Saldana.
I would love to see a Nina
With-
Simone.
Short, afro. Never in my life. I've never seen Zoe with.
Zoe Saldana doesn't even have
With
like
short
the
hair.
same hair.
Because she's a double mixed girl.
Yeah.
She's part
like Zoe?
Jewish, part white.
Is
And
she
then
like
her
Zoe?
parents are who?
Your Zoe, like there's just so much.
Yeah. But Zoe's darker than Zoe's colored than Nina Simone.
That's Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, right. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
and
Yeah, that's why like I never even heard of that until
Yeah.
like I looked it up when you told me because I was like,
Yeah.
Zoe Saldana
Yeah,
is
no.
Nina Simone.
Who thought of that?
No. That's
Yeah.
probably why they were like, mm-mm.
Talking about the wrong Zoe, by the way. She's not Jewish. I was talking about Zoe Kravitz. She's Jewish. Zoe Saldana is very mixed though. She's like Irish and like Colombian and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
she was in the movie
Right,
called
Colombiana.
Colombiana.
That makes sense.
She's like two different Latinas and then like two different other things. Like she's very, she's like Oscar Isaac. No wait, he's just Latino.
He's Guatemalan.
Yeah, he's just pure Latino.
And Cuban?
No, he's
Full Guatemalan, I think.
full. He's full. He's one.
Maybe.
He's beautiful.
We be talking about these people.
He is a handsome guy.
He's so
Is it Guatemalan? He's Guatemalan? No, I feel like we're off.
I think we looked it up last week.
We did. We were on the phone. We were like, because his name is Oscar.
Guatemalan.
He's Guatemalan.
He's Guatemalan.
Yeah, he was born in Guatemala.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. Oof.
right.
Cool.
And you said the card count. You said the card counter just came out
On HBO
on
Max.
HBO Max too.
Yes, that movie was in my top 10, 2021. That movie. That movie was so good. It was numbered. I think it was number 10 in my top 10 or 9.
Yeah, but
That go watch The Card Counter with Oscar Isaac if you want to see a fucking performance. Yeah, I love Oscar Isaac in anything is a good performance, but Card Counter is up there with my favorite.
even seeing now that I'm talking about like we're talking about good and bad like
Biopics.
The Runaways I really liked.
Yes,
Love
I
that.
like that. Literally, like when I think of it, I just remember it being shot on 16 millimeter.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I can pull from it.
And then Joan Jett being played by
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, perfect. Because she's like androgynous and her demeanor was
Yeah.
perfect. Her for the character.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it was great.
But
And then Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning, yes, is also
Great.
yeah.
Love her.
I didn't know the Runaways was a band when the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, the Runaways is just about a punk band. I didn't know it was a real band
Mhm.
until I grew up and found out about
Yeah,
music.
it's great. But another great one, Runaways. I really enjoyed that. But I've watched that I don't know how many times.
Yeah. It's starting to get a little dark, and I'm thinking about the lighting right now. That's why I just looked at the camera right now.
What time is it?
It's like 6,
About to be 7.
about to be 7.
There's some daylight left, I think.
We'll be
Like
all right.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
And go.
How far are we in?
They're at 30 minutes in.
30 minutes. But once we had an hour, we'll turn on light. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because that lamp is plugged in. You should probably just turn that on.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Can you actually just turn that on right now?
Yeah,
Oh my
I was
God.
thinking that because it's different over here. It's like super blue.
There we go.
Oh yeah, in your corner is probably
Yeah,
darker.
super blue.
We need a sign that says Rob's corner.
Just Rob's corner. Look at this. Beautiful.
Yeah, way better.
So another movie that I've seen 1,000 trillion times is Selena.
Yes, we just watched that. There was the scene. Did you watch it recently?
Yeah.
There's the scene. You can ask her. We watched it some night during the week, and that scene in the restaurant where it's Edward James Olmos, the dad, comes out into the restaurant, picks up the plates, comes back, and that whole one tracking shot. I was like, this is like, how the fuck did they do it? I was mind blown that they did that in this movie.
Really, I mean, when you watch movies back that you haven't seen in a long time, for like in preparation for the podcast, you're like, wow, like it just blows your mind how good movies are.
Yeah.
You're like, dang.
Yeah, like when you get like the knowledge you know now.
Yeah.
And then you watch a movie for the podcast. You kind of like in your back of your mind, you're like, I'm going to talk about this. So like I need to, what do I like about this while you're watching it? And then that's what I pulled from Selena was that like the first, I have a habit of saying Selena, but Selena, I'll say Selena. Like that shot blew me away because I never would have remembered that as a kid. And I was like, oh my, I was mind blown. And like when you see now like the way the movie's edited and you see the way the movie's shot and the performances, you see performances and directing styles, and like even for Videodrome, when I watched for the Cronenberg episode, I was watching Videodrome and there was a part where the girl she burns herself with a cigarette, like she puts out a cigarette on her skin, and the main guy sees it, and then he's like, oh, like don't do that, what the fuck, he's like, don't burn yourself with a cigarette. And then in the next scene there's an old lady that lights up a cigarette, and then when she lights up the cigarette and like hits it, Chevy's. Can you see her? Yeah, you can't even see her.
I thought she was outside barking.
No, it's 'cause someone's at the ring the doorbell.
But that's what I was saying. Like, so in one scene, the girl puts out a cigarette on her skin, and he's like, "Don't fucking do that." And then in the next scene, there's a older lady lights a cigarette, hits it, and you see him look at her light the cigarette, and it cuts to his face reacting, the way he looks at the cigarette, like those little choices of like, wow, this was actually well directed, and like when you see like this was well put together. And it's the same thing with Selena. Like
I noticed that looking back, even just first scene when she's in the Superdome, the Houston Superdome, the Astrodome, that's what it's called. And they have the audience there from like the 90s, so they have footage. Yeah. And they mix that in.
Just recreated the whole, like,
the entire thing recreated perfectly. And then the audience that they did put in, like they had, extras put in, it just was seamless.
Yeah. It was
completely seamless. You didn't even know what was found footage and what was
not. Yeah. Because we were watching it, and like it's all audio from the performance, like because J-Lo was lip syncing the entire movie. And like because I was like, when I was younger, I just assumed J-Lo's a singer, so she's singing. And then now watching it, I'm like, is she singing or is that Selena? And I was like, that's definitely not her.
Jennifer Hudson was singing. So Selena was lip singing.
Yeah, but I do respect her performing.
Oh yeah, great performance. If any,
we were watching it, and every scene with a new outfit with J-Lo,
fire.
I was like,
fire.
She has got a fucking dump truck on her. I know a million people have said this.
Yeah, but it's still legendary. Like what?
But like,
I've loved J-Lo since I was like 6 years old.
But
when Selena come out,
97.
That's when I love Selena. That's when I love J-Lo. Then I probably loved her before that.
I watched it and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
It's ridiculous in the best way.
Yeah.
And the most.
And it's like, and then
she looks like that now.
And then also, you actually, the real Selena Quintanilla has a absolute
fucking dumper on there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous, both of them.
Bad. I didn't know that. I looked at her, I was like, oh, okay.
No, she was.
And if anybody is reincarnated, it was her.
It was her. Because, oh my God, J-Lo. It was too much. I was sitting next to her, and about every scene where you see, where there's a wide shot, there's barely any wide shots on purpose. I was like, they're not showing her butt on purpose. Like just below the frame, her butt's there, but
like right below the waist. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, they're
enough
doing,
to see like the curve in the back,
like the top curve.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. And I'm like, you know that.
And it was like 90, so they had high waisted.
Yeah, like mom jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And but the whole time I was sitting next to her, I was like,
Every time. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was like, calm the fuck down.
Relax.
But I was like doing the same thing.
Right.
So I was like, no, it's crazy.
We're like, all right, soak it up there.
yeah. I was like, J-Lo.
Yeah. I think if it was one performance to launch a person's entire career,
Yeah.
it would be. She's still coasting off that.
Yeah.
Like I did.
Like a lot of
Selena.
people know her off of
Yeah.
that. Like that's her best move. It is her best. Enough is good.
Enough, boy.
It's such a good movie.
That was a good one.
And Anaconda. I'm a fan of Anaconda.
Come on, yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like because of the DVD collection. There's like certain movies that aren't good, but like you love it
Right.
because it's like
Anaconda was ahead of his time. That really
True.
started
that creature.
Yeah.
Because when they spit the dude out, and you're like, oh, that was, and he winks at her.
Yeah.
You're like, what the?
Did that have John Voight in it?
Dude, is that the dude I'm talking
The
about?
older dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he gave him a tracheotomy with a fucking
An ice cube.
He got a wasp.
Yeah.
He got stung in the throat in
Yeah.
the water. Oh.
Yeah, Anaconda. It is ahead of its time.
Yeah.
If it came out today, might not be as good, but if it came out like 10 years ago, that would have been perfect.
It was mainly practical effects. It wasn't a lot of CGI.
I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah, 97.
We gotta do like B movie horror like in October.
Well, yeah.
We gotta do like a B movie with specifically for movies like Species
Yeah.
and Anaconda.
Like, I love the Lake Placid movie. It had Betty White in it.
I think the prime like modern day B movie like horror is probably like Piranha. Or like Sharknado.
Oh yeah, but
Sharknado is more like
it's
action.
even C movie, I would say.
But like
'Cause it was on
Piranha,
Sci-Fi.
is the
Piranha was the last like
B movie
Then they
horror.
made Piranha 3D.
Yeah. Sharknado is like
But Lake Placid?
bad on
Yeah,
purpose.
that's
like
way-
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid, like those.
Have you
that
seen
was the same-
Rubber?
No.
The one about the tire? It's like a killer, like it's rolling down a hill and it's like killing people. It's a whole movie about it.
No.
It came out in like 2011, I want to say. It's a horror B movie, but it's about like this
It sounds like
tire that's like killing people. And it has like a mind of its own and like turns. It's weird.
I want to see. I keep telling the man about this movie I saw called Hatchet, and it was one of those like swamp movies, just like a swamp hillbilly who like hills have eyes, but in the swamp essentially.
Yeah.
So it was like that, and I'll never forget this scene. They're like, run, and he has a hatchet, and he throws it at the dude's back, and it gets stuck, and then he grabs his head and then rips his head open. And I said, this is the craziest. I've never been able to find that movie since that scene.
If anybody's listening and they've heard of that movie,
We gotta find Hatchet so you can. That shit was life changing for me.
yeah, that sounds crazy.
It was.
And they showed it.
Oh yeah, it was like they did like it was one of those like pan and then it zooms into his face and it just you just see his cheeks just start to split and then he just rips his head off.
That reminds me of when you said like you threw the hatchet. Me and my dad were talking about John Wick and how like it's like kind of like a amalgamation of all of action movies and it's just this one great action movie. But I love it because there was that scene I think in John Wick 2 where he throws the knives but some of them miss. It's like you never see that in an action movie where you throw a knife. He threw like 6 knives and like 3 of them like bounced off.
Yeah, realistic.
And it's like real action.
It makes the movie more realistic of like, oh yeah, people are dying.
And he also gets his ass beat as much as he gets it.
Oh
as
yeah.
much as he gives it.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
every 2
shout out
people
Keanu
he
Reeves.
kills, he gets like the boss. Like then the third John Wick when he fought the ninja dude in the glass room.
Mm-hmm.
That was like he almost died, I think, in that one.
I think we could do. My dad would be super down for a John Wick trilogy episode.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
He would be. He would go. That would be like 2 hours long. That's like his fucking shit. Is because he has the trilogy on in 4K.
In 4K.
he was like, as soon as we came home and bought it.
70-inch screen with surround sound.
Yeah.
The book scene. That's all. When I saw that book scene, I was like, the third one's the best one.
This is it.
But anyways, yeah. Horror. B-movie horror is coming in October. There's a lot of things I want to do for October.
Yeah.
Because last year during October, we were kind of trying to figure out the podcast still. And I watched more horror movies in November than I did.
Yeah. I feel like more came out in November.
Yeah.
Like
Nightmare Alley came out in December.
They try to capitalize on people wanting to watch horror movies during October and make them pay for it.
Yeah, I watched way more horror movies in November than I did in October, which is weird. And but I'm excited because now that we kind of get what we want to do with the podcast, it's like this will be great this second year. Yeah. That we're doing the second season.
Yeah. And we're also looking forward to like Christmas time and those movies.
Yeah, we're gonna get that all planned out. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But back to biopics. Do you want to start this top 5? Do you have the top 5 ready to go?
Not really, but
me either.
We could just talk about them.
I have 3 that I could talk about. I'll just say The Doors. I watched.
Oh, great movie.
I disagree. I didn't think that was that good. The one with Val Kilmer?
Yeah. Maybe it's because I like Val Kilmer, though.
Yeah.
But also, when I was watching it, I was like, I was way younger.
Yeah.
Than if I was watching it today. Then I haven't seen it since then. So
yeah, because it's so long and weird. And it's such like... You know those people, it's like middle school poetry where it's just kind of like we're all just energy flowing and our body is just a vessel of, it's just like shut the fuck up, bro. Like that's the whole movie.
But yeah,
but that's
me in my head, just 60s, 70s, you know.
And it's just like like you do acid once and it's just that's the whole movie is just like weird, like I was like the whole movie I was just annoyed.
It's also like because you love the 70s so much, I think that's also why you're like biased.
I think I was in my past life I was in Vietnam. I was like, shut up, you fucking hippie.
Like, that's exactly what it is.
I'm like, go vote for Nixon.
That's exactly what.
Count the fucking votes. But no, I was like, this dude is annoying.
Him as Jim Morrison.
I was like, if Jim Morrison was really like that, I would hate him. Because I like 3 of the Doors songs.
Yeah, Riders on the Storm.
Riders on the Storm and the Snoop Dogg remix.
Yes.
The only reason I like the original is because like I can hear some of the drums in the back from the remix. Yeah, when the drums drop in Need for Speed. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, Riders on the Storm, This Is the End. I like This Is the End because of Apocalypse Now. And I like just some of their songs are because of other things. Yeah, it's not purely like, oh, this song is good. But I don't really listen to them. But I was like, if Jim Morrison
definitely wouldn't put it at top 5.
No, I wouldn't. Because I watched it and I was like, this is fucking terrible. Not terrible, I shouldn't say. But it's just not. I found the movie to just be so like I just didn't like the character. Like it is a good performance and everything. Like obviously it's on purpose, everything. But it's one of those where it's like I just don't like it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I respect it, but I don't like it. But yeah, The Doors is the one I watched, and I was like, no. But Selena, I feel like Selena, we had to watch it for.
Also, it probably would. I think that would probably be one of my top 5s. I would watch it just casually.
Yeah, it's when we have just watched it. It was just on. Yeah. And we were like cleaning. Yeah. Because we had it on DVD, and then it was just one of those things. And I don't remember, like. This is the first time I watched it like all the way through. Yeah, it was to the point where we had the DVD before they came out with the plastic covers, and it was just the cardboard. Yeah, the cardboard DVD where it's just like a snap. Yep, it was like a booklet. It looked like, and then with this, I remember those cases because we had the same thing for Seven. That DVD was just like a booklet. That
had snaps on. I had the movie soundtrack, played it all the fucking time on my green radio that I had. Yeah.
We were singing along to some of the songs.
Yeah, all of them.
It was so cool. But Edward James Olmos, literally, in that movie, I was like, I said literally. Every time I say literally, I think of Max. Yeah. But I was like, a part of me, like, I think Edward James Olmos, whatever, I forgot her dad's name. Selena's dad's name. Abraham.
I
think a part, like, he's kind of my spirit animal because of some of the shit he was saying. And that's why I love Selena. I was saying the best part was when he was trying to teach his kids. Like, you got to be good enough for the white people. And you gotta be good enough
I
for the
already
Mexican
knew it
people.
before you even said it.
I know me and you can fucking...
Yeah.
That, I almost teared up because I was like, that's the part that I always remember was that quote.
Yeah.
Of, like, the Mexican people, you're going to go to Mexico and they don't like you there.
Yeah.
Because people from Mexico, they don't like you.
Yeah.
Like, you have to prove yourself for Mexican people, and you have to prove yourself for the white people. Like, when she was playing in the restaurant in front of the white people, you had to be good enough for them. And then when you first time performing in Mexico, you have to... And the way she capitalized on being in Mexico, she leaned into it, where it's like, my Spanish, I'm going to speak Spanglish.
Right.
And she was just like, I'm not going to try to be something I'm not. And she was fully herself. And I love that part. That part.
She's like, I can't be anything else. I wasn't born in Mexico. Like, I'm in America. I speak English.
She doesn't speak Spanish. She had to literally learn.
Yeah. She's like, I want to sing like Donna Summers. Like,
she listened to R&B and soul. Like, that's why that song "Dreaming of You" that performed at the end, that's my favorite Selena song. And I was like, this is like R&B.
English was her first language.
And her only language until she was like 15,
which is wild.
And then
I'm like, damn, I need to learn Spanish.
But yeah, I love that part because it's like, that's life.
For real.
That's what you got to do. It's like, because of, and I forgot about the opening scene where it's the Ladinos, Los Dinos, and like, them getting kicked out. Didn't remember that part at all. But I was being a little pretentious, and I was like, if I were to be the editor for this movie, I would have just started the movie with the performance and then went on back to her as a kid. And then when she was telling Abraham was telling Selena the story of him getting kicked out, I would have just let him tell the story, let that scene end, and then the next scene would be like a flashback of just like almost no context, like just jump to like, okay, this was a long time ago, and then just cut back to the movie without saying it's a flashback. Just throw it in there. Fuck, that was a burp. Anyways. Yeah, I would have done it like that. I think, using that as the opening scene was I think there was a better way to do that. But I'm also, like, I'm just not a big fan of flashbacks. Like in Top Gun Maverick, that was my least favorite part, was when he was looking through the window, seeing him play the piano. And I was like, don't do a flashback, and then it cut back to Goose playing the piano. I was like, we don't need that.
Like, we know you did a good job.
Like, I'm not stupid. Like,
well, some people are.
Well, you're basically like underestimating your audience, and a lot of big movies, blockbuster movies, do that.
Right, for the people that never see.
They treat audiences like they're stupid because they are, but it's like.
She can smell outside.
You can see her, but yeah. Anyways, I'm not a big fan of flashbacks, but that's how I would have done that kind of flashback where it's just a scene. It's not like thinking back, or it's not remembering. It's just a scene that's like between two different events. But that's my only like nitpick with Selena. It's not that it's a bad thing the way they did it, but I fuck with Selena, and I've always loved it. And then, but that's like the number one lesson for when I remember that movie, or when I think of Selena in general as a person, not even the movie, of just lean into being Mexican American, Chicana. Chicanx.
Reminds me, we were watching
Nice.
That was ironic, guys.
We were watching Miss Marvel, and they were talking about that.
What?
Like,
I haven't watched that yet.
Being Muslim American, like how you navigate those worlds,
Yeah, I need to check. Is it good?
Yeah,
that's good.
I like it. I like comic books for the reason that this show is like, it introduces you to somebody else's culture in a palatable way. Like,
it's not like forced down your throat.
Hey, you need to stop being an Islamophobe. Like, they just show her going to service. They show them as regular teenagers,
just regular shit.
but they're Muslim teenagers, so there's still culture, and her mom is still very like, you're not going to wear skimpy clothes.
Yeah,
and
traditional.
And it has to do with the story.
Yeah,
it's not forcefully put into there where it's
Yes.
represented. That's the only. I remember the conversation me and Rob had a while ago about representation and everything, where it's just like people just throw it into there, like, oh, remember they're Islam,
right,
or Muslim. Sorry, they're Islam. They're Islamic, and but like there's like remember this.
Yeah,
it's like like in Selena, they could have easily been, oh, remember she's Mexican American, like. But or like remember they're black, but it has to do with the story.
Yeah, it's character defining for the story.
It's also the American part. That's the part that these other these people who try to shove it down your throat. It's like you're missing the American part. Like we understand their culture where they come from, but people try to say America doesn't have a culture. We do, and that's what's kind of shown in a lot of movies that do it well. Like Ms. Marvel does. She likes Avengers, because in that universe they're a real thing. Like they know they exist, and so she's like, I love Avengers. I love I'm in school and I like boys just like anybody. You would think in Islam you're not even supposed to. The story. Don't even look at a man or throw acid. Like no, it's just those are extreme stories they show you. Like these girls still like boys. They still.
It's like Turning Red was.
Exactly.
He was like a normal person.
But she's also Chinese. Your parents are Chinese. Like.
I like gyrating.
And I think it helps people who are first generation people when you have these kind of.
For sure,
stories.
I'm sure that's very like. That's kind of what's I appreciate that kind of trend where it's the first generation stories because it's very new, like that's not a thing in movies as of like 30 years ago.
Yeah, but it's a very real.
There's a lot of immigrant stories,
real life thing.
Stories, yeah. These first generation stories that they're doing are very because Moon Knight is not apprehensive to their Arabic Egyptian lineage. It's very like no, this is an Egyptian like story.
Yeah,
these people are.
This is where it's
Arabic,
coming from. Yeah,
like. Disney's doing what Disney does in a good way. People hate it. They're like, Disney-fied just means that it's palatable for
anybody. A lot of that's very true.
Because Zoe has a girl in her class who's Muslim, so I think this kind of like.
She's like, you fuck with Miss Marvel?
Yeah, she's gonna ask her that. She's like, have you watched Miss Marvel? Because Zoe said she was like, oh, this reminds me of my friend. I'm like, yeah, that's her. This is how her. That's culture.
That's what Disney's trying to do.
Yes.
The movie that they portray where all of these different types of people are in one room at one time is becoming a reality faster than they think, and people need to understand that. This is reality. It's not just a movie anymore where it's like, oh, we're being, PC about everybody being, included. Like, no, this is a reality where you're showing a multifaceted world and it's real. That's
what people say about LA. They're like, those people who do that PC thing are the least PC people. They don't understand. They have no friends of color.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea what you're talking about. So people of color in this room, we don't like that. When we see, like, we know you're pandering, bitch. We're not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Which was why that new Rebel Wilson movie is hilarious.
I haven't watched that.
Because she's like, when she goes into a coma, it was like the early 2000s, right? Like hot in here. Yeah. Early 2000s. When she comes out, her best friend becomes a principal, and that's how she gets back into high school.
Oh, okay.
But she's like, so you can't say retarded? She's like, oh, that's retarded. And then her friend's like, no, you can't say that. Yeah. We don't say that anymore. You can't say that. And she's like, why? Why can't you say retarded?
That's good comment. That's a good metaphor.
I told him, man, I was like, they're going to touch on this.
That's a good way to...
That 30-year gap of change. Not even 30.
It's 20. It was 20 years.
It's 20 years.
20 years.
It's 2022. We're old. Early 2000s, that was 22 years ago. We're closer to 30
that's how old I am.
Exactly.
Right.
We're closer to 30 years ago than it was 20 years ago.
But
I was born.
It was perfect. It was perfectly played, everything. And then when she goes to the school, she wants to be a head cheerleader again. And they're like talking, like their cheers are about the environment and about like saving the turtles and there's peace around the world, and they're all wearing the exact same uniforms, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Wearing
and she's
like
this shit ain't right.
She's like, what the fuck is this? Like, are you kidding me? And then when she says like, oh, what's up, slut?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just like that's her greeting to people, and they're just looking at her like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Yeah.
And she's like,
there's a
what's
lot
wrong
you
with
can do in like trying to get that like perspective off of just like, oh, 30 years or 20 years ago we could say this.
I think they're going to touch on the overcorrection of PC culture. Like, it's okay to correct it, but there was an overcorrection.
Yeah, like Dunning, that's very like satirical.
Yes.
it was a great movie. It's hilarious.
It's like almost like Idiocracy-esque of
Yes,
just
exactly.
of like the logic.
Trying to show you where the world, how literally society itself. I was just talking to Mike. I was like, society as a whole, like everybody just kind of goes with the time. Eventually, everybody can fight back, but eventually, everybody.
That's why. I remember you showed me a clip of Mike Hannon talking about Doctor Strangelove, the Stanley Kubrick movie. You showed me like a clip of him like a year ago, I think, and how Stanley Kubrick tried to make a war movie, Doctor Strangelove, but the way it works, the American military, you can't help but make like a satirical comedy because of how like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and that's
How
the beauty of Doctor
ridiculous it is,
Strangelove is because it's just like, you're gonna drop a bomb, like it's the whole satire of it. It's
like,
just
Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Don't Look Up.
Don't look up, just like that.
Just like that.
I was like, what is that?
I was trying to make an impact. I was like, comment. I was like, comment.
I was like, stomp the yard.
Stop the yard.
But yeah,
God.
just like Don't Look Up is prime example of modern day satire of like what everybody's trying to say. It's just,
Because I think the greatest thing about satire is like, this shit really happens. People really do this.
a good double feature would be Doctor Strangelove and Don't Look Up.
Yes.
Because of like higher powers being weird and like
Dumb.
what like you're and that this really is not far off from like real life.
Horizon. I'm playing Horizon. I just beat both of those games in the past like month. I just beat
That's the game you were talking about a couple weeks ago.
With the robot. That game is all about that. How these higher, like the game is to the point where it's like the year 2100. There's no longer a Forbes 500. It's just a Forbes 5. It's just the 5 richest companies because they bought everyone else. It's just the 5 richest companies.
Monopolization.
Oh, come on, boy. And so then the game obviously is like 1,000 years in the future because dude destroyed the planet. He had too much hubris. He destroyed the entire planet. All living matter on planet Earth was destroyed.
But yeah, satire is a good.
Yeah, that would be.
It's like doing comedies, just to show how doing comedies is a smart way to do it, just to show how ridiculous. Like,
how do we get here from biopics?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
You want to know another epic biopic?
Yeah.
8 Mile.
Yeah.
That's the
Skibbity bee bop.
That's the only biopic with the
actual person. War.
Is that making? Does that become biopic then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is.
Is it?
Because that's his story.
Oh, that's the only definition of it. I thought a biopic had to be like. I guess I thought it had to be like post-mortem. I guess that's probably what my thought process was.
I think because Eminem was so groundbreaking that like they're like, we need to hop on this and get Eminem in it before he gets shot, because people were probably like, he's gonna get off.
Because nobody would ever be able to play Eminem like Eminem.
Okay.
Eminem.
Also, Brittany Murphy being in it.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But I think it's,
and Anthony Mackie.
Yes.
This dude's an Avenger. His real name's Clarence.
when you said that, I thought of Anthony Anderson.
Oh, he's in it too.
Anthony Mackie,
right?
Some bangers.
Am I wrong?
No, he's in the.
He's in Barbershop.
No, the parody of 8 Mile.
Oh, he plays Future, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony and Scary Movie 3.
Yes,
Mikhail
thank
Pfeiffer.
you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Pfeiffer.
Movie 3.
He's like,
I'm a white boy and my neck is red.
Oh. Simon
Great
Rex.
movie, yes.
I forgot he
Right.
did that.
And that's why I know Simon Rex from. I was like, I've never seen this guy in my life.
I
Except
think
for
that's why it's so iconic for me. Like, such a great, because it's just so much has come from that movie.
8 Mile.
You know?
I gave a
people
girl an
still love
Eminem and
Eminem
Eminem
just
and
as much.
Eminem.
Eminem is a god. Like,
Oh.
the white boy in hip hop.
The greatest white rapper of all time.
Period.
That's
point
it.
blank.
During the Super Bowl, he took a knee for like an entire verse.
Was good.
You already know.
He was like, I'm about it. Fuck all y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, all of my friends and family are black.
I fuck with I fuck with Eminem. I think he should have stopped making music like a while ago.
Oh yeah.
But like that's why
He's Lil Wayne.
that's why the MGK beef happened, is because Machine Gun Kelly was like, stop making music, like, and stop creating beef with people. Like, you're already the best. You're in every. I think that was one of his bars. It's like, you're in everybody's top 10.
Yeah.
Just relax. Like, why are you an angry old man?
That's a bar right there. It's like, shit, why are you doing this still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can.
Because I'm Eminem.
Right.
Because Jay-Z still does it
Yeah.
because
Gave a girl an
Dr. Dre.
Eminem, Eminem. You seen that Vine?
No. But you know what I
Where
was
they voice
thinking?
over 8 Mile.
I love that vibe.
He's like, oh my god. That shit was so. I need to find
He's
that.
like, wait.
Let me see. Can I
Yeah,
see that
spit on
phone?
your bitch.
Spit on your bitch.
10 bars, 10 motherfucking bars, 10 motherfucking seconds. I love it. 10 motherfucking bars, 10 motherfucking seconds.
Hilarious. It never gets old.
It doesn't.
Never, Shav.
You're a lesbian, huh?
Does that make you wet? No? You're a lesbian, huh? Oh my god.
All right, you're gonna have to cut this because I'm gonna show you guys a video right now,
Okay.
just so you guys know what I'm talking about if it loads.
Hi, my name is Eminem. Your girl wanted Eminem, so I gave her an Eminem.
Oh my god.
Eminem. Oh my god.
All right, we're good.
Oh my god. We're gonna leave that in. That's a fine. That's open,
Yeah.
That's open source.
We'll be
That's
fine.
Open whatever.
Yeah, that was a video was on Facebook.
Yeah.
I had to Google it, but yeah, that when I think 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Y'all keep going. I got to pee.
8 Mile is good. Like the final rap battle. I am white. You know?
I think everybody can quote that shit.
Yeah.
When it comes on, it's like, oh, I know all the words.
Have you ever YouTubed all the rap battles? Like, just like where it shows like every rap battle from the movie, and it's on YouTube, where it's just each one. There was like 1 Pac, 2 Pac, 3 Pac, 4. I that whole last scene is fire. He killed them all.
Yeah. And
Papa
then went back
Doc,
to
Papa-
fucking work.
Yeah, fuck a beat. I go acapella.
Bars.
And he goes.
There's fucking bars.
And he
the whole
goes to
thing.
the beat, stops, and he keeps going.
I know, right?
I've never seen the movie, but I've seen that final battle on YouTube for sure a few times.
Do you think we'll get flagged for the final battle in Eminem?
Yes.
Or in 8 Mile? In Eminem?
That's
Eminem.
copyrighted. That's copyrighted.
Eminem and Eminem.
Oh my god.
Fuck a beat. I go acapella. Walk the Line is a great one.
Walk the Line is great.
I just love Johnny Cash. If they made they already made Walk the Line is one. But like if Elvis was as like Johnny, you couldn't do Johnny Cash in like Elvis style though. Because Johnny Cash was like the Man in Black kind of thing. He was a bad boy.
Yeah.
He was way more depressing.
Completely different styles.
Not depressing. He was just way darker.
Yeah.
He talked about real shit. Because there's that scene in the movie where he was trying to record his song, and he was like, "I can't make songs about God," and they were like, "No." And they were like, no, you can't do that. He was like, you saying I don't believe in God kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, you have something against the Air Force? And the guy's like, no. He's like, well, I do. And then he sings a song about like, fuck America. Not fuck America. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because he was in the Air Force. Shout out Johnny Cash.
Yeah, shout out Johnny Cash.
But that was a bar. That was a good line. Because we watched it the other day, the first part was like, he was like, do you have anything against the Air Force? And he was like, no, I do not. And he's like, well, I do.
It's like, so hard for me to hear.
I was like, Amanda and Rob felt that.
Even you saying those, all I see is Walk Hard. Like, all I see is
John C. Reilly as Dewey Cox.
He ruined that movie.
It's because if that was real, that would be number one. Because I was like, does Dewey Cox count even if he's not even a real artist?
Right.
Because
oh my gosh.
Because they played on like
none of this Dewey.
Like one of the longest parodies ever.
They played a trope.
Perfect.
They played a trope on every single like artist's like ebb and flow of their career.
Yeah.
Not even like just music biopics, but just musicians.
Yeah. Drugs, sex. Become a
hippie.
Awakening,
yeah.
Get in touch with your grandchildren and children because you were a piece of shit dad years ago.
It's just like it's the whole arc.
Marrying a 12-year-old thing.
It's the entire arc. And then your music being sampled by hip hop artists at the end. It's everything.
It's like, oh, all right.
I think I could do some of this cocaine.
Oh my god, it's great.
But yeah, if Dewey Cox, if that was real, that would be number one.
Yeah.
Number one parody movie.
For sure.
It's so good at like it's burst through the parody roof.
Yeah, you don't even realize that it could be a parody because it's just that.
You do get caught up in you're like, oh, there's a ridiculousness of it.
It's a hot rod.
You know what makes it not ridiculous? Because artist did everything he did in that movie. So it was a parody enough to where you're like, this is a little outrageous. Because
it's not. It's different. Yeah, it's different from different parody movies because he's not doing it off of just Walk the Line. He's doing it off of just like this. These are music artists in the most like
Scary Movie.
Yeah, these are just music artists, and like it's funny.
You're like Michael Jackson did buy a giraffe. This person did do an orgy with 17 people. It's like they're ridiculous acts, but they're like, no, these all happened in real
and
life.
like trying to make the masterpiece of like having 80 instruments, the orchestra, having a goat like bat in the microphone. Where like you see his big studio with like people like playing the violin.
Oboe. There's a fucking Aboriginal dude playing the oboe. But that's how Bohemian Rhapsody was. Remember?
Yeah.
Where it's just everything.
That's how they just like. He was like, bring in everything. And they just kept playing instruments over and over. That's how, Mamma Mia, you know what I'm trying to say.
Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia. I haven't seen that.
The name of the movie is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Queen, yeah.
Yeah, you still haven't seen that one?
Mm-mm. I didn't watch. I wanted to watch Rocket Man, but it wasn't available anymore. And I wasn't trying to rent it.
I haven't seen that.
I think it would be cool. I'm not a big Elton John fan, but I think that movie would probably be cool. Straight Outta Compton is a great one.
Yes.
Top 5.
52,000 times I watched that.
Yeah.
That's a great one. That's one of the most well done ones.
Yeah.
Because it's true to.
Also, all the music in it.
Yep. That's how I found out about 8 Ball. I never heard that song before until that movie. I was like, this is the greatest song I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I drink Brass Monkey, like to get funky, nickname Easy E, Young 8 Ball Junkie.
I fuck with that.
It's great.
Yeah, because I remember when it came out and Lakeith Stanfield played Snoop Dogg.
People hate it. LaCharlemagne went on him for that. He was like, now who said you could play Snoop Dogg? You ain't act nothing like him.
Oh my gosh, that was a great one.
Straight Outta Compton, and it was very popular.
Oh yeah.
Because people just like the song. Straight Outta Compton, where white people got a hold of it. And
do you remember the Straight Outta merch?
Yes, that's what I was about to bring up. White people got a hold.
Oh my god!
It's Straight Outta anything else.
Right. It went down to like high school.
My high school football team, Straight Outta North.
Yeah. No.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Straight Outta class of 2021. Boo!
It's so corny. It's Straight Outta everything. And I'm like, God damn it! What, like
straight out of pregnancy, like bitch, I don't care.
straight out of Fort Walton Beach. Like nobody knows where that is.
Like what the fuck?
Nobody knows what that is.
Yeah, the whole and yeah, I don't know. But Straight Outta Compton is a great one.
It's great.
And Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Playing his dad.
They said he's like, you're not gonna get this shit because you
Right.
look like me. You gonna have to act your ass off.
Which
Yeah.
I saw a picture of him recently with all of his kids. Looks exactly like him. Like
All of them?
no,
Or
the one
O'Shea?
O'Shea
O'Shea
Jackson.
looks exactly
That's
like
why
him.
he's a junior. You're like, you spit him out.
Yeah, like. Oh, I know.
Oh, Chevy.
They're twins.
Let her out. Go. Damn, take your time.
Food.
Are they cooking?
No, they ordered pizza.
Let's fucking go. Did you hear Little Caesars is the new official pizza sponsor of the NFL? It's not Pizza Hut.
Really?
Yeah, it's not Pizza Hut no more. They out pizza.
Little Caesars?
They out pizza the Hut.
You know what I just
I'm
seen?
not gonna lie though. You go to let's just say, I would say the Mexican community keeps Little Caesars.
That you know what I'm saying?
You-
You know what I'm saying?
And can we admit that Little Caesars is better than Pizza Hut? I think so.
After having Pizza Hut recently, let me tell you this: fresh out of the oven, Little Caesars.
Nothing
is
like it.
Gas.
Nothing like it.
Fire.
Nothing
and
like
I'm
it.
not gonna lie, their lukewarm isn't good, but when it gets cold, it's good again.
When it's cold,
You
it's
could reheat
reheat. It's still
You can
pretty.
reheat
still holds
Little
up.
Caesars.
And their deep dish is good. Their deep dish pepperoni, Little Caesars.
It is solid when you're in the mood. I'm not in the mood for deep dish a lot,
Not a lot, because I eat one slice of it. It's just so thick. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, I'm good.
but
extra most bestest.
yeah, that they fuck it up on there. I'm not-
You know what I'm saying?
Little Caesars and Little Caesars in the
And
black community, because they said they were paying for Rosa Parks' mortgage for like 20 years
That's
of her
wild.
life as
Uh-huh.
CEO. You see that they're cheap because he's like, I want to make it still like affordable.
yeah, $5 pizza. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
He was like, I'm not gonna be greedy. He changed his business plan. He was like, I'm not gonna be greedy, like, cause he saw everybody else's pizza becoming. What the fuck is Pizza Hut $19 for a pizza?
Yeah, Papa
Like,
John's.
kiss my ass.
Like it's Papa John's is ridiculous. The only like thing that's like doable is like maybe Domino's.
Yeah.
Another day we ordered Papa John's, and Rob said that our order was the last one before the oven broke. And I was like, thank God, because it's 9 o'clock.
And he said, we've been eating streets in New York a lot.
Yeah.
Papa John's is nasty, dog. Like, once you go to, like, better
All of 'em?
pizza,
Yeah.
but that's why Little Caesar still gets his respect. Because I'm like, I still eat that shit.
Yeah, because it's $5.
It's $5. That's worth $5.
When you got a kid's birthday party,
Yeah, pull up with $20.
come on, dog. Can I just get all them pizzas in that thing? Like, yeah.
Here you
Yeah.
go.
Here,
Ready
Party
to
done.
go. High and
Party
ready.
fucking done.
how you just pull up?
High and ready.
I mean, I am not gonna lie. Little Caesar's giving me like the BGs for some reason though. I don't know what.
No,
it is
no,
in
for
there.
sure.
Bubble guts instantaneous.
Rob be like, nah, I got stuff to do in the morning.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't.
I be having acid reflux.
They'll have
but
like
it's
half a
good.
slice.
Exactly.
But I will fuck up a whole like from anywhere else. Like I'll fuck up a medium pizza by myself. I can do it. I've done it.
Also, why
Yeah.
I love Selena. She's like, this is mine.
Yeah, she said that. She said I could eat a whole medium pizza by myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I turned to her. I was like, me too.
Yeah. Easily.
I've done it.
Yeah.
You get pepperoni and jalapenos. Eat the whole thing by myself.
Mm.
It's fire.
We're talking about food.
But yeah, what I seen about
what
what I seen about I was gonna say hot and ready. It's about Little Caesars. Is a girl that got fired went back and shot her manager, killed her.
Okay,
Yeah.
Amanda, that wasn't the same kind of story.
But it was Little Caesars.
Like Selena.
She got fired
Like, what
from
the
Little
fuck?
Caesars and was
Little
like
Caesars.
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars. That's where she was. That's where she was at. She got fired Little Caesars and was like,
You might need to bleep it, but I imagine like a little person. Stop it, Menda. Little Caesars.
Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Yes. Pizza.
And they do have a great mascot. Papa John's
Yeah,
Pizza Hut, they don't have mascots.
Where did that go? We need mascots.
Thank you.
Because
Now-
it's like you associate. Kids would want it.
Yeah.
Because remember was it Little Caesars that used to do like the spy? Remember the black and white cartoon spies, and they did it on the cardboard boxes of Little Caesars, where it was like, you remember?
Yeah,
it's like the triangle faces.
The triangle face. The minute you say
the triangle face, black and white.
It's the black and white, and they used to be on the pizza boxes.
Coca-Cola or Pepsi or something?
No, maybe it was like a double thing.
It might have been like with it.
Yeah, it might have been like a double thing.
Okay.
Because it was like on the pizza boxes. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Like early 2000s.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid seeing that.
East Coast, Little Caesars almost disappeared completely. I thought it was shut down for the longest time until I went into the military, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, that's a Little Caesars. Yeah. And they're like, oh, they have the hot and ready. And then I started seeing it pop back up. The hot and ready, you just pull up with a That's when it started becoming like, then Little Caesars started like, bong, bong, bong. You just started seeing it everywhere.
When I was in high school, there's the Little Caesars across the street.
Mm-hmm. Where?
On Central and Dunlap. They have and they have a drive-through, Little Caesars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You were like, ding, ding.
Yeah, it's Sunny Slope. They have that now. They have that Popeyes. I was like, that would have been crazy in high school.
It was KFC before, but even still.
But KFC is still firing when you're in high school. Every food is firing when you're in high school.
Like, because at North, we had Sunshine Market. That's it. But that was a spot, too, after school. You would just walk.
It sounds like a bodega.
It kind of is.
Yeah, kind of.
It pretty much is. It's just not on a corner.
Yeah, neighborhood corner store.
Mm-hmm.
But
literally in the middle of the neighborhood.
Yeah, corner stores after school be popping.
You just like pull up. Let me get a water cup. Fill it up.
The one that's on our corner. On Greenway.
Boy.
That on
right
29th?
Yeah, it's a middle school right across the street. It'd be 60 kids out there.
Yeah.
60 kids.
I can't imagine.
All of them cool with their fucking Gatorade and shit.
Gatorade and their Fantas and your Mexican.
And chips.
You know, like, a couple of them got roll-ups because they're bad little bastards.
For sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But what are we talking about? Not biopics.
Yeah, we got way off topic.
What's your number one?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Selena.
I knew it. It had to be it.
My
number one was Temptations.
Yeah.
That wasn't on anything, but I remember it's hard to find. It was always on VH1.
5 Heartbeats.
Always.
But I remember
5 Heartbeats is like Dewey Cox. Because when I was growing up, I thought 5 Heartbeats was a real
thing.
Movie.
But they weren't. They were just like, this is like an amalgam
of like groups,
different stories,
like the Four Tops,
exactly. Mm-hmm. So they were like, this is what happened to a lot of groups like this back in the day.
Oh, speaking of, I would love to see
and all original music for that movie.
An NSYNC
biopic, man.
De-aging technology, JT.
Yes. NSYNC.
Can you imagine me in IMAX listening and it's going to be me?
It's gonna be me.
I'm done. Cut it.
I'm calling Shawnee. I'm flying Shawnee out. Let's go.
An NSYNC biopic.
The name of the movie is going to be called No Strings Attached, of course.
Who would play JC Chazé?
JC
Chazé.
Somebody who's not... These are kids we don't know yet.
No.
These people who are going to play them are kids who are super talented on YouTube right now. And we're going to like the Elvis person. Who's playing Elvis?
Austin Butler.
I never heard of him.
He's on that poster somewhere.
Oh, okay. Let me look him up. Austin Butler.
Austin Butler says it right there.
Oh, yeah.
He played Tex. I wonder if he's on that poster.
He's mainly like...
Mm-hmm.
He's just out of being a child star.
He's just out of Disney, yeah.
Yeah, he's just out of being a child star.
That would be great.
It's gonna be me.
That would be game changing.
Nobody wants to fucking see Backstreet Boys.
What about Stevie Wonder?
But Backstreet Boys would be in the movie though.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think Stevie Wonder?
Oh yeah, that's coming.
Is that like too much? That's too great. Like, it's like having a Michael Jackson or like the Beatles movie. Like that's so
long.
It's so big and
it's so epic. Like it's so vast.
The Michael Jackson biopic, he actually performed those songs too. When you ever talking about people performing the actual songs, like Jennifer Hudson, the dude who did the VH1 Michael Jackson.
Okay.
He actually sang and danced for that movie.
It was Johnny Cash actually sang.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like impressed because it's hard to do those low notes.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon both sang for
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Reese Witherspoon can sing though.
She really
She's
can.
from like Alabama, I think, or something.
Is
like
she?
Southern.
She's country.
Yeah.
I was like impressed by Joaquin Phoenix. Because
Yeah, I love him in that.
Yeah. He was.
It's a great
Yeah.
performance.
did he win
Yeah.
an
And
Oscar
he
for that?
didn't even- No, Reese Witherspoon did. She
For
won
supporting?
for supporting actress. Yeah, he didn't win anything.
He didn't. He got nominated though. Yeah.
I think so. I think
He had to.
2005.
Is that when that came out?
Yeah.
I thought it came out like 07. I don't know why. That's 2 years after Johnny Cash passed away. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know, I don't know. I just think they should wait. Like, you don't got to do it right away. Like, I get why, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, it was well.
I
put
would.
together.
It's just. I think the reason I say that is kind of what I was talking about last week. Is like when you do things out of passion and not off of like capitalizing.
No, he won. Oh no, that's I'm sorry.
What did he win for?
Joaquin Phoenix accept the Oscar for lead actor. It doesn't say
For
what,
Joker.
though. I think that it had to be because he's older in this one. Wins best actor for motion picture musical, but that must not have been an Oscar. It had to be something.
Oh,
else.
like a different award.
Yeah, Golden Globe.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
still good though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's still like pretty fucking and like with BAFTAs and
yeah.
I
England.
think the people we only know the big ones, but winning an award is still like no matter from what.
Yeah,
it's
like
still
Golden
pretty
Globe is
Yeah.
like you watch. I don't watch them, but you see who wins the Golden Globes, and that's usually like who's gonna get nominated for the Oscars.
Right.
good. Mhm.
And like when people who win like BAFTAs in London,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you're like, okay, that's kind of like a sneak peek of
Which
like
it
the
won for
Oscars.
best sound.
So it's like the playoffs.
Do you know who did the sound for Walk the Line? The fucking guy that did Blade Runner 2049. He did Ford versus Ferrari. He is
Epic.
so good. What's his name? It's hard to say.
He's a sound mixer.
Yeah. He won for best sound
Doug
design.
Hemphill? No, that's not it.
Let me see.
you saw his name and you're like, oh, that's the guy that.
Yeah, he did. Sorry. Dead air.
Sound. You're not telling you.
Yeah, it's Doug Hemphill.
Doug Hemphill.
He did. Let me name 5 for you right now. He did Us. He did Batman Begins. He did Blade Runner 2049, and Dune.
Cabin in the Woods, Pi,
Life of Pi.
Ice Age,
He did Life of Pi,
Life
Ice
of
Age,
Pi,
Probe-
Tropic Thunder.
Prometheus, The Maze Runner,
Wild.
and he did Walk the Line. And he did.
Prometheus was great.
Yeah.
I hated that movie.
I don't know why. It's
The
just
sound though.
the harder they fall. The great
awesome.
sound design. He did a lot of great fucking movies. He did what is this one? Alien vs Predator Requiem. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, that's the one with Sanaa Lathan.
That was good.
That was a good one.
Aliens vs Predator Requiem, yeah. But yeah, Doug Hemphill. He did Dune, Blade Runner 2049, Us, and the original Blade Runner. And he did Walk the Line. I was like, I didn't know he did this.
Yeah.
But then when you see
Got a lot of awards for sure.
Yeah, Walk the Line, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I might put that over Selena, if I'm being honest. Because
Fair.
I listen to a lot more Johnny Cash. I have like 2 songs from Selena, but I have like a grip of songs from Johnny Cash in my library. But
You also speak English, though.
and literally, I think one of the songs that I have from Selena
Is Dreaming of You.
is "Dreaming of You," and that's her later.
So that was your favorite.
That's my favorite Selena song for sure.
No one play anything.
I'm not touching Selena's
I
music.
thought I heard Amanda's phone go off. I was like,
No.
don't even.
Johnny Cash, I have a lot more. But I think I've said this on the podcast. But Johnny Cash's later work, after his wife passed away, is some of my favorite music by him, because he's like old and Rick Rubin produced all of it, and it's very touching. It's very emotional music.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's very emotional. Like,
Yeah.
very emotionally driven, and you can just hear it.
You can
through his
hear
voice.
that song "Hurt." It's a cover from a Nine Inch Nails song, but
It's
I was in high school. It was my senior year, and I was listening to "Hurt," which is wild. I was listening to "Hurt" in class, and there was this girl next to me. Her name is Aurora, and she was sat next to me, and she was like, "Let me listen to music." So I gave her a thing, and I played "Hurt" came on, and then the song ended, and she got up and she was crying. And she was like, "Can you send me that song?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll send it right now." But that song is so good. It's such a touching song. And literally it had somebody cry right next to me. And she was like, "What song is that?" And I was like, "It's Johnny Cash." And
that's been in so many movies.
It was in the I remember it being used for the trailer to Logan.
Yes. Yes.
And I was like, that's so fitting. Which I want to say James Mangold, the director of Walk the Line, also did Logan.
That would make sense. It has a very that kind of feel to it. Logan is very
country. It's a western.
Yeah.
It's
very
a western
Johnny
movie.
Cash.
Yeah.
Movie.
Because Logan has a lot of western tropes, I would say. I've only seen it in black and white is the thing, because I have it on Blu-ray. I remember I saw it in black and white, and then that's the only the version I've seen. And then I remember Andy from the Titi's old tattoo shop. He was just like, "Why?" And I'm like,
the color version, the color grading and cinematography in that one is that's when you said western, that's why I said it. I was like, oh, it does, because it had the same kind of vibe to it. Like the color version does. It's very dark, like gray kind of.
Yeah.
It still has that undertone of gray to it.
There's a lot of movies. There's I remember seeing this post on Instagram like years ago. I forgot what page, but it was like a bunch of movies that don't have a black and white version of them, but it's just like movies where it's like you wish like on a Blu-ray it would have like a black and white version.
Oh, okay.
Like The Dark Knight. Like if you were to watch that in black and white, how like the tone of that would be so like much darker. And like Parasite actually does have a black and white version on the Criterion edition.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
And then one time I watched The Hateful Eight in black and white because I accidentally changed the settings on my TV. And then I was like, I'm going to try to watch a movie. And I put on The Hateful Eight in black and white. And it's crazy.
Right. I was like, the poster's right there in black and white.
It's crazy in black and white. But it's getting dark.
Yeah. It's like we have an hour and a half exactly.
But the one song that I was thinking about Johnny Cash songs in was Django. And the song is Ain't No Grave.
Ain't No Grave. That's one of the songs I have.
Yeah.
And when they played Ain't No Grave in Django Unchained, I was like, isn't that perfect? Like Johnny Cash's music, the reason why it's so good is one, because of Rick Rubin, his later music, but it's so like it's so cinematic, it's so masterful, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And even like the subject matter that he would sing about in all of his music, you know, even in the beginning, like it was so against. It's not what people heard before, and I love Johnny Cash's music. I'd say Walk the Line is my number one. Sorry guys, this wasn't a top 5 like we usually do.
They'll be all right.
But like Walk the Line is number one.
There's just so many out there.
Yeah, I made a list of
There's not enough hours in the week to watch biopics.
Yeah, all those movies are so long, and that's why I didn't watch a lot. I watched The Doors, and I was like, this is 2.5 hours long.
I have to watch ones that I haven't seen. I watched Dorothy Dandridge.
Yeah,
it's been like so long.
That was on HBO Max.
Yeah. And then I watched Respect because I haven't seen that one yet.
Little Respect.
I watched The Dirt because it's just it was
wow.
I can watch it without like it's not so intense where I have to like be like, okay, I'm about to cry. Like it's just a good movie.
That's one of the reasons why Selena was the first one I watched, because I was like, it's a good intro.
You don't cry on Selena. My mom cries. Because it used
every
to come
time
on TV every year. Time. She would cry every year that movie. She would make their family come around and watch.
And like as a kid, I never got to the ending because I would just not paying attention. I was just like, oh, watch it, and then leave. But then like I only seen the ending once before, and then when I watched it this time, I was like, oh fuck. And there was a lot of things. Another nitpick I was talking about when the movie ended with Selena. There's another nitpick I have. They don't really touch on like how big she really was. Like literally like her it was kind of like all of a sudden she's the biggest artist. And her music's really popular. You see platinum records on the wall, like framed and stuff. But they don't really like give you that like holy shit, like she's blowing up in America and Mexico. Like kind of how big she really was. I think they kind of did that with like
the Astrodome.
Yeah,
like that.
They did. Like with
but
that.
That was already. I think Nate's saying like you don't see like
the progression.
The climb.
Everybody has a halfway point to doing an arena. Like Straight Outta Compton would have been their performance at the skating rink. That was like their moment. Like you packed out. Your
it's kind of like you're performing, you know, at your restaurant and everything, and then out of nowhere you're selling shows like in Mexico.
When she was in Mexico and they like broke the stage.
Yeah, that's too big. You already
that's like. But before that, there was no like gradual. I just felt maybe I don't know. Maybe they did do it like face value, but as far as the feeling of like they're growing, like holy shit, we're big, because the way people reacted to all the fame.
But I also think
it seemed too like they're already used to it.
I think that was also part of the movie of she was just at the very beginning of her career.
Yeah, that is true.
What I mean?
Like she just started.
Her life was just cut so short.
She died when she was like 20. She died when she was 23.
Yeah. And she was just at the very beginning. So that feeling of like how you feel of there was no rise. Like the rise was the ending.
Maybe you're right.
The rise was the ending. She was there. She was right there.
I'll give you that one.
That's fair.
Let's end on that.
You know?
Yeah.
That was great. I think you nailed it. Menda's best take.
Easy.
That was good. And we're done. Next week we're gonna have a special guest that I've been wanting on, and I'm so excited. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I don't give a fuck, but I'm excited. I'm super excited because we just made plans to do it today before the episode. But next week, tune in next week. It's gonna be an exciting episode. Mm-hmm. Another guest, probably in a different setting. It will be in a different setting.
It'll look like we got money.
But yeah, tune in next week. Go share this
Because
episode,
none
like,
of this
subscribe,
really matters.
whatever. Peace out.